Hello everyone, I'm day weather meteorologist Don Day with your WeatherSlant subscriber update for this March 18th, 2020. Well, we've got a storm system that's going to impact many areas this Thursday and Friday, mainly southern Wyoming, a large part of northern and eastern Colorado, and parts of Nebraska and Kansas. We're going to continue to be in a very active pattern in the coming days and weeks ahead. We'll continue to have good chances for more mountain snows. It looks to be a little, not a lot, a little colder than normal for the rest of March and into early April. And stock growers and travelers, well, it's just going to be spring. We're just going to have unsettled weather coming in the days and weeks ahead. So be prepared for ups and downs and fluctuating weather conditions as you'd expect this time of year. This is your 10-day precipitation forecast that takes us through next Friday and Saturday. Continued very wet in the southeast. There's been a ton of rain in central and eastern Texas. Some of these areas were in a drought status not long ago. They're quickly erasing that. Too much precipitation here, getting too wet really. And some of this rain and snow up here going to add to already the wet soil moisture conditions in parts of the Corn Belt. This area right here, actually, let's extend this area here into Wisconsin, parts of Iowa, Nebraska, then back into the Rockies. This is going to be part of the storm system that tracks right through here during the course of the next 2 days ahead. On the back side of this, there's going to be cold enough, plenty cold enough for snow to fall and some stock grower and travel concerns there. Notice we'll continue to see a good flow of moisture into the mountains of the west. California is going to get more rain and mountain snows. So it's a pretty wet pattern, really, for most of the nation. The exception is Florida and parts of the northern Rockies up across Montana and eastern Canada. But it looks like the eastern areas of British Columbia, up here across the east slopes of the Rockies, a dry area, but the rest of North America in a very active weather pattern. When we look at temperatures over the next 10 days, these are the next 10 days ahead, average temperatures, and you can see that we certainly are coldest in the west. Now, you can thank some upcoming snow cover for some of this, but also because of the fact we continue to see systems coming in off the west coast, coming into the Rockies and coming like this. This is a pattern which we talked about over the last couple of weeks. Looked like it was going to develop, and it really is coming to fruition. All of the coldest, most unsettled weathers in the west. The warmest temperatures, as you can see, will remain in the east. This is where we are right now. Here's the little low. Doesn't look like much, but this is the system that's going to cause a lot of problems heading into Thursday and Friday. This will stay back and weaken a little bit, but we've got other systems upstream that are likely going to want to come through the jet stream pattern, and you can see we continue to have high pressure in the southeast United States. We continue to have, generally speaking, a ridge of high pressure still up in the Gulf of Alaska. So this favors the storms that come into the western United States. So this will continue into next week and likely the week after that. This is the forecast for this upcoming next storm system. That storm that was back here right now moves very quickly to the northeast and across eastern portions of Colorado by Thursday into Friday, causing the stormy weather that we're going to see coming. Now, if we were to go out a little bit longer, this is for Monday. We see the high pressure builds in the Gulf of Alaska again, and we see a west to east flow. So we will see moderating temperatures this weekend. But you see these little ripples? These little ripples right here, these little small weather systems will continue to feed moisture into the mountains of the west. So while there may not be a lot on the plains, the mountains will occasionally see more precipitation than this guy right here. This looks identical to what we showed you almost a week ago. A British Columbia low that's going to head down the coast, and then as it goes down the coast, it's going to want to send another area of low pressure. This is by next Thursday across the Rockies again. Then another system right there. That'll come in right behind it. So we're probably going to have to deal with another major weather system towards the middle to the end of next week. One thing we wanted to show you was an updated 90-day outlook. Now, we think this is overdone, but the long-range modeling trends for April, May, and June here, these are temperatures. Look at all the blue. If you were to add up the 90 days of April through June, showing cooler than normal temperatures for a lot of the nation, especially the central and western parts of the U.S. And look at the precip, much above average precipitation for that 3-month period for a large part of the United States. The exception here is Florida. Pacific Northwest dries out a little bit. Now, this may be overdone, but we're seeing this tendency in the long-range modeling. It's gone on for several weeks now, where April, May, June may be wetter than normal for a large part of the U.S. This will certainly be a concern in parts of the northern and northwest Corn Belt that are still really, really wet from last year's spring and summer. They could start off the season wet as well. We'll watch this. Again, this may be showing too much precipitation, but it is an interesting trend we'll keep an eye on. The 30-day temperature outlook, this takes us through the middle of April. Colder than normal in the west, warmer than normal in the east. That tendency is still showing up. Precipitation-wise, notice we have this band of green coming off the Pacific and going across most of the western, southern areas, southwest areas of the United States. This dryness right here, well, this may fill in a little bit, but it looks like south of I-70, there might be some downsloping that keeps the storminess tracking more like this. This is why the green here is coming out across the divide along I-80. But a lot of the nation south of this line is above average with precipitation over the next 30 days. We'll update you next week. In the meantime, stay informed daily, Monday through Fridays, with our Day Weather Podcast at dayweatherpodcast.com.